So here's part 2 of my Crystal Palace walk. Right at the top of the park, where I left off at the last video, there was the Crystal Palace high level station. At the time, there was so much demand for people going to the palace that they needed a high level and a low level station. They were open to rival train companies, both seeing the palace as a very lucrative market. The higher level station probably had an advantage, being that it was right over the road from the palace, up the top of the hill. To get in under the main road, you had to go through this subway. As with all Victorian stuff, even though it was just an underground subway, it was made in a really elegant, beautiful style with incredible brickwork. The day I went, there was a craft fair on there, and it was actually very popular. It took about 15 minutes to queue up to get in. It's recently actually gone through a big few £1 million restoration. I went here for open house a few years ago, and it was very run down, and it needed cleaning, and there was no roof bit at the back like there is now. Yeah, and the restoration has made it so that this kind of event can happen. The actual market was quite cool, loads of local artists and jewellery makers and other stalls. Once I'd had a look around the market, I went back up and over the road to have a look at where the high level station was. Unfortunately for the owners of that station, it was on a branch line, and when the Crystal Palace burnt down, there wasn't really much for it to go to. And eventually the demand got so low that they closed it in 1954. Once you go over the road, there's a bridge that used to go over the end of the station, I imagine. Where that big building is was probably the main part of the station. There's this random door as well. That was weird. It just goes to nowhere. When you wander into the main housing estate, where I'm looking now, that was the station, and this end is where the track would have gone. You can still see all these arches all the way along. When you walk to the end, you get to the railway tunnel, which sadly is blocked off, but imagine for safety reasons. And I think sometimes bats live in there. If you follow this tunnel, I think it used to go through Nunhead and up to Peckham Rye. I think you can walk most of the line via Parkland now. There's like a nature trail on the old railway line, which I will definitely do at some point, I think.